Welcome back, everyone. I am Helix. I am hosting our International Transgender Day of Visibility celebration on GDQ Hotfix. We are in the midst of our Sonic block, and I suppose in the midst of a sub-block within that Sonic block, which is Sonic fan games that are developed in the Doom engine. If I had a nickel, right? But coming up next is Sonic Robo Blast 2 with Garby playing specifically as Vivian. Very fitting. Garby, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing great. I'm really excited to show this mod off. I was so excited when I realized that this mod existed. Yeah.
We were very excited when we saw this in our submissions list too. Quack and I were like, yes, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Does I guess before we get started, does the mod change anything about the gameplay?
Oh yes, it does change quite a bit. Vivian has a lot of different moves that she can use that makes this typically a lot faster than most runs of Sonic Robo Blast 2.
Cool. Yeah.
And I'll get to show that off when we start the run.
Yeah, give us a countdown whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready right now, so I'll kind of stand in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Alright, good luck.
So thank you. So starting this off, one of the biggest techniques that helps save time with Vivian is her veil jump that I'm using right here. And as you can see, there's a stylus that pops up reminiscent of Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door. And that helps you move through the levels really, really quickly. So we were already finished with Green Flower Zone 1, so another thing she can do is bounce on these monitors and enemies, and she gains an absurd amount of height when she does that, so it lets you just go through these levels a lot more quickly than you would and take various shortcuts. And so we're just bouncing through the water. That's generally a pretty fast forward movement. And you also gain speed more the more you veil jump with Vivian. And as far as I know, there's no cap to it. So it makes speedruns with her really, really tricky, but also really exciting. And now we're moving on to the first boss, Eggman in Green Flower Act 3. So he's supposed to shoot fire lasers, but I'm not gonna let him do that. I can just shoot fireballs like that, and that's already the first zone down. And the most important thing she can do: trans rights.
Trans rights.
That's one thing that I love that she has. She just has the cute trans rights emote, which is awesome. And I just kind of do it anytime there's downtime or something. You know, she's busy veil jumping through all these levels, but we gotta have a little bit of time to just do a trans rights emote. Good, I got that. I was almost too low there for that to work, for that bad bounce to work there. Definitely one of the more tricky ones, but luckily hitbox of the enemies, it's bigger than it looks, so it's not super tricky. And now we're moving on to Techno Hill Zone Act 2. This introduces this water, which if you get into it, you'll just kind of float down into the water. Well, I guess, but it just has a strange sort of gravity. In earlier versions of this game, it actually hurts you, but later versions made it so you just kind of have low gravity in it. Which, if you get hit into it, can be kind of punishing because you'll just be in your heart animation for a long time. Good. And that just lets her skip all through various sections. This is also a cycle-based level. I don't know if I'm quite fast enough with the fastest one. We'll see. No. Oh, and this is a little unfortunate. I need to go back because I didn't quite have enough height there, but Actually, it's probably faster to just do this. Just restart from the checkpoint, since there's not and super easy way to get back up, but that's fine. Okay, this is... Okay, I'll just take this ring.
Kind of in line with more traditional Sonic games, where once you fall down, getting back up is tough.
Yeah, it is. There, for the most part, Vivian can get a lot of height in wide open spaces, but without water, there isn't really that much I can do there. And now we're heading on to the next boss, and then it'll just be riding around this arena. And also for every boss, after 5 hits, Eggman will enter a pinch phase where his attack pattern will change. So now he's just bouncing around, giving us these, I don't know exactly what they are, like damaging projectile. And now we're entering everyone's favorite type of level in Sonic, a water level. And I regret to inform you that there will be the scary drowning music, as is typical in classic Sonic games. I'd say for the most part, this mod, it does a good job at recreating the style of classic Sonic games in a lot of ways, especially with the multiple paths that there are and everything. But don't worry, even though we're gonna have to hear the drowning music, everything will be fine. Okay, we didn't hear it for that long at least, only for a few frames. And here I can just bounce on this water to get to that a little more quickly than I would just letting myself get whisked away by the waterfall there. And there's also a lot of different paths in these levels, and this is probably one of the more levels with multiple paths. So, but this is generally the fastest for Vivian. Some characters have abilities to roll, which makes another path faster, but Vivian doesn't have that ability, so she just takes this path. And this also isn't the only modded character. There's a whole big community for modding. So I definitely recommend checking everything out. There's a lot of fun characters to play as and levels as well. So yeah. And more water bounces.
So fast.
Yeah, Vivian can get around this pretty fast. Another trans rights. And now we're heading to a boss that was actually changed quite a bit from the previous major version of this, 2.1. In that version, there will be electrified water that you'd have to go, that you'd be in danger of falling in for the last few hits this fight. And it was honestly a lot more tricky than this is. Here I just need to go inside the get Robotnik, depending on where he is. Just find him, and after he has 5 hits, he'll switch to where there's clones of him, but you can tell which one's the real one if you by the smoke coming out, and the real Robotnik will also shoot lightning. So, and hey, we're already at Castle Eggman, only 7 minutes into the run. You know, it almost makes you think that we're going to come in way underestimate, but no. There's still a lot more to this game. This is only zone 4 of like, I would say 7, because there's some zones that only have 1 act and such, but we're only about maybe a quarter of the way through the run, even though we're at a level that would imply that it's the last one. And these things right here, Vivian can just enter them and she'll become tall for a bit, and she can also just launch on them. And I also really like just how expressive Vivian is, just with how she waves her arms out when she jumps.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't really noticed that.
Yeah, it definitely looks like she's having fun just doing this.
It's very charming.
Yeah. And I did not get that checkpoint, but that should be fine. While waiting on that. Do another translate for a bit. Okay, good. Oh. Apparently the encoder made that emote a little different. Oh. Just, Vale jumped right into the spikes. That's fine. I'll be honest, I'm a little worried about my lives, but I think it'll be fine. Worst case, I can just restart. I can just take an intense game over, and for the next credit, I'll get 5 lives, so I should be fine with that. It's not like the kind of run where like, it's super stingy with lives, so that's good. And this is a bit... That's actually when you have to be a little careful. Good. If I hit one of the springs, I'll lose all the speed I've gained through Vale jumping, and it's a lot harder to make it onto that ledge that's high up.
So entertaining to watch these precise jumps from incredible distances.
Yeah. And I'd also say this level's probably Vivian's biggest weakness, because it has a lot of closed off areas, especially in the beginning. There's one really fast path that Tail can take, but it's almost impossible for Vivian to get on it, because you have to do a really precise like jump to get up there. I'd imagine it's probably possible, but I've never managed it, but I guess it could be faster for an IL. Okay, and this is another boss that was changed a lot from 2.1, because in that version, you just had to wait for Eggman to reveal himself inside this cage, but here I need to press buttons to open it. And also after the 5th hit in 2.1, you had to do a really precise, like, launch off those propellers that we saw earlier to get Eggman. But now he'll just like run around the arena, and I can just get him when he's vulnerable. So I'd say this fight changed quite a bit, and I think it's also a lot more engaging, and I like it a lot now. Yeah, I need a ring. 1 ring, I'm okay. So I'm just gonna wait on him here. Okay. I could try like just going through the stadium to get Eggman, but if if those egg robos hit me with their fans, I'll get launched out of the stadium and almost certainly get hit, so I just opted to do that. Oh. Almost got the route, but managed to back it up last second. Good. And this is a Rig Canyon. It's a wide open level, which really works well for Vivian here. You can also get more speed when Vivian bail jumps off the hills.
A pretty common tech in Sonic games actually is jumping off a downhill slope gives you more speed.
Yeah. Oh no, I did not want to go there. Oh. These are... She's so happy.
Nice recovery.
Thank you. Yeah, it can be easy to accidentally just get onto the wrong, like thing there. Okay, that was not how that's supposed to go. I guess I didn't need to restart, but... And I can just bounce off that turtle there to get all the way to the checkpoint. And this is a fun level because normally there is a big minecart section that you have to do, and it's like about a 40 or 50 second auto-scroller. Well, about maybe 30 if you do the skip, but Vivian just doesn't even have to do the minecart because she can just bail under the door. Like that. Okay, I'm glad I got that jump there. I realized I didn't get the checkpoint, so I was a little nervous there. And I'm kind of glad I got that life there. This game, another way this game's like classic Sonic games is every 50k gets you a life. So, yeah, that's helpful there. And now we're fighting Fang. And this is going pretty well so far. Yeah, it's going very well. Usually, like, it takes me a while, but... Okay, now he's dropping bombs. And I have to just... wait on it not to hit attack. I don't want to get too close because those bombs will also, like, launch me like you saw there. Good. That was pretty good, even though the 6 hit took a while. Friends, right? And so now we're moving on to Red Volcano. This is probably one of the more tricky levels because there's a lot of tricky veil jumps I'll need to do over bottomless pits, but it's a fun level, and there's also a fun skip that I discovered like as I was practicing for this event, so that'll be fun.
That opening sequence was already ridiculous. Very quick.
Yeah, thanks. And watch out for that spring. Okay. Is that a kind of there? So normally you're intended to ride this ball, but I can just like bail jump and bounce on that spring and deboost to get through that. So that can be a little scary, but there is a backup if you're not fast enough where you just bounce on one of those enemies there to get there without having to deboost. But yeah, that's how I prefer it to go. I need to watch out for those lava balls, and goodness, that was close. And unfortunately, we can't even see Vivian doing her trans-right pose because that gate locked, but trust me, she is. And so now we're at Egg Rock. This is the final main level of this game. And I'd say the most tricky, because there's just a lot of closed-in spaces, so there's not that much you can do with Vivian to skip through parts of this level. I'd imagine it's probably technically possible to get through this, but the gravity reverses every time you jump, so you have to deal with that too. So I just take this as intended, like that.
Pretty clean movement though overall.
Got that chip. Yeah, thanks. That went pretty well there. And that's also a scary part because if I enter that other section, there's a lot of pressures that it's really hard to get through as Vivian, so I'm glad I was just able to kind of easily get inside that alcove to the left. Oh, come on. Okay, please don't blast me. Good. And this ending is really fun because normally you're intended to bounce on that spring, but doing this I can just do that, and the low gravity lets Vivian bounce all the way up like that, and we're already at the goal. Alright, so now we're at Egg Rock Act 2, and I will say that about a minute and 40 or so into this level, there will be a flashing lights warning because there's an effect toward the end of this level. But this is probably one of the hardest levels as Vivian because it's just a long level with a lot of main obstacles, and that can also be main. You have to get a pretty good bail jump to get enough height there. I think I'm just gonna try not trying to skip this time. But if you don't do that, you have to deal with those mean badniks trying to drop bombs on our head. And this level also has a lot of these sections where you have to watch out for the timer because it's like kind of down there. And now a long tunnel. Just do this while we wait.
And while we wait, I also want to briefly shout out SGDQ. If you haven't heard, Summer Games Done Quick 2026 has volunteer and run submissions open as well as registration. That'll be in Minneapolis, Minnesota, July 5th through 11th.
Sorry to cut you off.
Go for it. Hey, it's your run. Do it.
But there's the flashing warning.
That's important.
Here. Oh. Yeah, it's just that like effect. It's definitely jarring and.
Oh, that's bad. Is that the only time it happens?
Yeah, it's the only time it happens.
Okay, so you all should be good to look back now.
Yeah.
Yeah, SGDQ, as I was saying, volunteer and run applications are open through March 31st, so apply by then if you are interested. !SGDQ in the chat. One of our wonderful chat mods already got to it. That is where you can go for more information. nicely done with that level.
Thank you. Coming up next is A Race with Metal Sonic. Hey, another reference to old classic games. I like the CD reference. As a Sonic CD fan myself, it's cool to see. But with Vivian, it's not that hard to beat Metal Sonic. The bigger problem is all the bottomless pits and fire that's in the level. I'm glad I start with the continue because otherwise being on one life would be pretty scary. Luckily, or unluckily depending on how you look at it, there are no more checkpoints in this game, so I don't have to worry about losing a checkpoint upon game overing and using a continue. Here, I'm just gonna take this. I said I was gonna take this safely, but I just blaze through that because I guess that's just what I just feel like doing. Still got through it at least. And now we're gonna actually battle Metal Sonic. Luckily I can just shoot those fireballs to cause them to try to evade and then become vulnerable. So that's 4. Oh, come on. Okay, good. And that's 5. So now Metal Sonic's gonna try to get us, but not much you can do when we're in the shadows. So here I'm just gonna kind of wait for.
It's very funny, actually.
Yeah. It's neat that you can just do that. Most characters I kind of just have to try dodging, but I can just kind of just stay safe here. So there's also one emblem that you need to defeat boss without taking damage to get, but that emblem's luckily really easy to get as Vivian. Really, that's one thing I have not talked about yet about this game. There's emblems all throughout the levels that you can get by exploring, which doesn't really come up in this run because I just take the fastest path. But it's a fun way to like incentivize exploring. Okay, good. And now I need to just wait on this elevator, so what better thing to do than trans rights? Okay, there. I still don't remember the exact. It's hard to really have an idea of where I need to go there because I'm typically not ever in the same position after defeating Metal Sonic. And so this is the final boss. So time will be after the screen fades to black after exiting the arena. So here I need to do 12 hits and Eggman's being a jerk like he always is. Here, yeah, I need him to get into that green liquid there so that he'll become vulnerable. Otherwise, he's just invincible if you try attacking him. Luckily, this boss isn't as bad with Vivian as it is with some of the vanilla characters because she can shoot fireballs, which makes it a lot easier to avoid attacks. Okay, good. I got Eggman just before he regained invincibility there, so that was lucky. Oh, really? Are you kidding? Please just get into this. He's just avoiding, walking into this, finally. That's 9, maybe? Yes, it is. 10. After 9, that'll fall the guardrail. Good. What are you gonna do? Okay, good, you're not gonna do anything. that can be scary because the bombs, if they hit you, they'll launch you away from the arena. So I need to watch out there. And so get ready on time. Time.
GG.
Thank you. 26:14 in-game is a pretty solid time because I think that was right around what my PB was when I submitted this to this marathon.
Yeah, we were pretty excited when we saw that you submitted it too. The Vivian mod is so fitting for Trans Day Visibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, any shoutouts from you?
I guess I'll shout out Pig Overlord on the Super Sonic Road Blast 2 message boards. They were the one who made this mod, and it's a very fun mod to play. So I definitely recommend giving the Vivian mod that they made a go. And I'll also shout out the I'll shout out the Sonic Road Blast 2 speedrunning community. This is a lot of fun to run, and I'll just shout out the Sonic Road Blast 2 community in general. They've made a lot of fun stuff, like even just entire level packs, more than just this mod, and even this itself is a lot of fun to play, and it's so cool that it's been like in development for all these years since 1998. And I think that's all my shout outs.
Cool. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for running this. Shout out to Trans Rights as always. Our Sonic block will continue in just a few minutes as Sonic Generations is coming up next, but this is a great opportunity to go get some water, stretch your legs. Take care of yourself. We will be right back here in just a few minutes with Sonic Generations, and we hope to see you back in chat as well.